Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Al-Fatihah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Nafa'na bihi wa bihi ila hadratin Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Al-Fatihah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. نويت التعلم والتعليم والتذكر والتذكير والنفع والانتفاع والإفادة والاستفادة والحث على التمسك بكتاب الله وسنة رسوله والدعاء إلى الهدى والدلالة على الخير ابتغاء وجه الله ومرضاته وقربه وثوابه آمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أما بعد. Okay, we are still at fasting. We are kitab Risalatul Jami'ah by Abdurrahman bin Al-Habshi. So we have reached towards the end of the chapter of fasting. Yeah, I'd just like to complete whatever is in this kitab, in this book. So the previous lesson I forgot to add in. So we just add in the whatever is in the matan of this kitab. ومن تمام الصوم كف الجوارح عما يكره الله تعالى من الأعضاء السبعة الآتي ذكرها ففي الحديث خمس يفطرن الصائم: الكذب والغيبة والنميمة واليمين الكاذبة والنظر بشهوة. ومن تمام الصوم تحري الإفطار على حلال وعدم الاستكثار من الأكل. So Habib Ahmad bin Zain Habshi. Okay. وينبغي الاستكثار من الصوم لا سيما الأيام الفاضلة في الشرع والله أعلم وبالله التوفيق. So Habib Ahmad bin Zain Al-Habshi said, and among the things that perfect the fast is refraining of the limbs from the things which God dislike. The 7 limbs which need to be restrained will be discussed later, which is actually discussed later in this book, at the third part of the book. It has been said in a hadith that 5 things nullify the act of fasting, the act of a fasting person: lies, backbiting, slander, false oath, and looking with desire. So we have actually covered this in the figurative nullifiers. And amongst the things which perfect the fast are hastening to break the fast with halal food and not eating a great deal. It is good to fast often, especially on the days that Islam has considered special. God knows best and success is from Him. So that is the matan from the book Risalatul Jami'ah. So we will just see some details in whatever have been said. So the first part is we're going to discuss about things that perfect the fasting. So things that perfect the fasting, according to this book and also other books, is actually refraining of the limbs from things that Allah dislikes. The 7 limbs which need to be restrained will be discussed later in the book. In this kitab, we are now at the fiqh part. So in this kitab, it's actually broken into 3 parts. The first is the tawhid part, and the second part is the fiqh, and third part is tasawwuf. So these seven limbs which need to be restrained will be discussed later in the book. It means that in the third part of the book, in the tasawwuf part. This will include things that perfect the fast, will include especially restraining oneself from the figurative nullifiers. We have covered this in the previous lesson. These are lying, backbiting, slandering, looking with desire, false oath, false statement, and acting on it. So these are all things that will puncture or eliminate the rewards of fasting. And also not eating a great deal during sahur and iftar, because the idea of fasting is not to feast when you break the fast, but it's just to satiate yourself and carry on. But it's not supposed to be a feast. So it's okay to eat until you're satiated, but it's not like don't overeat. And also among the things that perfect the fast will be hastening to break the fast with halal food. It's best to break the fast first as soon as you can with halal food. And some people might ask, is it better to break the fast first or pray Maghrib first? So actually the Salaf, what the Salaf do is they will break the fast first as soon as Adhan, Maghrib comes. They will break the fast first with tamar and drink water. Then they will go straight to prayer. They will straight away do the Maghrib prayers. That means they get the best in both worlds. I mean, they get to hasten in the breaking of the fast and also pray Maghrib uh, as early as you can. So their practice is they will just break the fast with tamar and maybe a glass of water, and straight away normally they already have wudu, and straight away after that they will pray first. And after prayer Maghrib prayers and awabin and the ba'diyah, and some do the salat tasbih and all that, then they will have the dinner. So they actually differentiate breaking fast by just breaking their fast and have the dinner after Maghrib, and some even have after Isha. Hmm. Okay, recommended to fast other than in Ramadan. So like what Habib Ahmad bin Zain Al-Habshi said, وينبغي الاستكثار من الصوم لا سيما الأيام الفاضلة في الشرع والله أعلم وبالله توفيق. So he's saying that it's recommended to fast even in other days than Ramadan. So we have actually went through the sunnah timing of fasting, but okay, we just recap. It is recommended, it is sunnah to fast other than Ramadan, especially on days that Islam has considered special. These are broken into can be broken into three parts. The first one is repeated every year, like example Yawmul Arafah, the day of Arafah, 9, 10, 11 of Muharram, and also 6 days of Shawwal. These are all sunnah and recommended to fast. Days that Islam considered special. So it's good for us to fast. It's recommended. It's sunnah. The second category is the one that repeat every month, like full moon, white days and the black days. Yeah, 13, 14, 15 for black days and white days, and 28, 28, 29, 30 for black days. So if the month have only 29 days, then the first of the next month will be the third day of the black days. So these are days that will repeat every month. So it's sunnah to practice this fasting of the white days and the black days. And the third one is something that you repeat every week, Monday, Thursdays, and alternate days. The fast of Nabi Daud, which is considered the best way of fasting. You fast one day and don't fast one day, and you repeat again. So, but that doesn't mean that other days, other than these days, you can't fast. It's still sunnah to fast, but these are the days that recommended to fast. It's sunnah to fast. But on other days, it's still sunnah, although it's not like considered a special day. It's not considered special day in Islam, but still you get the rewards of fasting. Anytime is good to fast, except for the days that are haram to fast, like Eid, that Eid and Ayyam Tashriq, all this you can't fast on these days. It's not. It's prohibited to fast. Other than that, you are free to fast whenever you want. Okay, so I have made a summary of Sunnah, all the Sunnah in fasting and Ramadan. So some of the Sunnahs are especially for Ramadan, and some are just Sunnah in fasting itself. So the first one is hasten to break the fast once one is certain of sunset. If in doubt, if he is not certain of the sunset, the Maghrib, then it's best for him not to break the fast first. So he have to take precaution. So he will only break the fast once he is certain that Maghrib has entered. So especially for Ramadan, he is not supposed to break the fast unless he is certain. Yeah. So if he's not certain, as long as he's not certain, he's not supposed to break the fast. Yeah. Other than that, if he's certain, then he have to hasten in breaking the fast. Second is sahur. Sahur is sunnah, even with a glass of water, even for those who are satiated or not hungry, because the idea is not just to give you strength, but is actually to follow the sunnah, because Rasulullah SAW did it and he recommended it. So it's good for us to follow. It's sunnah for us. So the hikmah for sahur is actually to give strength and also be different from the Ahlul Kitab. Because the Ahlul Kitab, they too have fasting, but they don't do the sahur. So we want to be different from them. It's recommended for us to sahur. And Rasulullah SAW did it, so it's recommended that we follow. So it's also to give strength. I mean, for the day that we're gonna fast. So if you're full, just drink a glass of water, or just have dates or something light, just to get the sunnah. And yeah, so what is called sahur is actually start from the second half of the night. So if the night will be counted from Maghrib until in between Maghrib and Fajr. That's the night. So you take the hours between Maghrib and Sahur, divide by 2. The second part, the second half is the part where you can sahur. I mean, it's sunnah. That's the timing that is called sahur. So if you sahur, let's say right after Isha, like if our place, there's the night has 12 hours, let's say. So after Maghrib, 3 hours after Maghrib, you straight away sahur. It's not considered sahur. So you have to, let's say there's 12 hours in the night in between Maghrib and Fajr. So you take at least after 6 hours, then it's considered sahur. And it's also sunnah to delay the sahur with ample time to eat properly, not to rush through the eating, the sahur. And it's sunnah to stop eating at about 15 minutes before Fajr, 10-15 minutes. This is there is a hadith showing that we should stop, but it's still permissible to eat, but it's just sunnah. That's what we call imsak. Yeah. So you can there is actually hadith on this. Okay, so it's about 50 verses. So 50 verses will take you about 10-15 minutes. Yeah. So before subuh, 50 verses, you stop eating. So to give ample time for you to prepare for Fajr. Then number four will be break the fast with rutab or dates. So many of us know that. Many of us will know that it's sunnah to break the fast with dates. But actually, the best thing to break your fast with is rutab. Rutab is non-fully ripe dates which have a moist texture. It's like uh, very is unripe but half ripe. It's actually half ripe and it's like very moisture, very soft dates. This is called rutab. It's actually the third, maybe we can say just the stage before it become the fully ripened dates. So the sequence will be first, the best thing to break your fast with is rotab. Rotab is partially ripe dates with moist texture. This is the soft date, soft type. It hasn't be, it's not fully ripe yet. So this is the best. Then second is bisir. Bisir is unripe dates. This is actually crunchy, and if you ever seen this, is actually normally yellow in color and it's like crunchy. It's very it's hard. It's a bit hard, and this is actually the earlier part of the dates before it become even rooftop. And after that, then comes dates. So dates is actually the third in line. First rooftop, bisir, then dates. Dates we mean by the fully ripe dates. Then zamzam. If you don't have, if you have rooftop, break your fast with rooftop. If not, then find bisir. You don't have bisir, dates. This is where normally we stop. Normally we will have dates. But if you don't have dates and you have zamzam, then go for zamzam. But if you have dates and zamzam, then go for dates first, then zamzam. Break the fast with dates. Then you can drink your zamzam. So number 5, the next in line will be, if you don't have all these, the first 4, you don't have rutab, don't have bisir, don't have dates, you don't have zamzam, then break your fast with water. If you cannot find water, if you're traveling or what, and whatever you have is sweet food, then that's the next in line. Sweet food that is uncooked, that is honey or resin or like berries, anything that is sweet. You can have blueberries or cranberries or whatever berries that is sweet. Is considered sweet food that is uncooked. Then the next in line will be sweet food, something that is sweet but has touched fire, that has has been cooked, like whatever you can say, like whatever delicacies you have, like cakes or something, anything that is sweet. So is generally is sunnah to break your fast with something sweet, except for the zamzam and water. And of course, it's also sunnah to recite prayer before the iftar. And there is, an example will be Allahumma laka sumtu wa bika amantu wa birizqika aftartu. There are many dua in breaking of the fast. This is one of it. And you can dua after the dua warid for breaking the fast. You can dua whatever you want to dua. And number 6 will be feeding those who are breaking their fast due to its big rewards. Yeah. It's sunnah to feed those who are fasting. Breaking their fast, because it has been narrated that whoever feed those who are breaking their fast, they will get the same rewards given to those who have fasted, but without defects. Because everybody's fast, normally they will have defects, so the rewards uh, will be punctured or eliminated by whatever figurative nullifiers they did, or whatever macro thing they did. So, but those who feed these people in breaking their fast will get the full reward, as if this person have fasted without making any figurative nullifiers. So that means it's a perfect fast. So that's why it's sunnah to feed those who are breaking their fast, because of the big reward. It's easy, just feed them. You don't need to even fast. Number 7 is to do ghusl before Fajr. Before Fajr, for those who is in Janabah. This is to get out of the khilaf, because some of the ulama say that before you start your fast, you should be in a pure state. That means you cannot be in Janabah. But the stronger opinion, most of them say it doesn't matter. You can be in a state of Janabah, you still can fast. But the reason to be in Janabah cannot be after the Fajr. That means if you woke up you are in Janabah, and you still want to have ghusl, you don't want to do the ghusl, you want to have your sahur first, then after subuh, after Fajr, then you want to ghusl. By that time, the fasting has started. So it's still possible, it's still permissible. But the best is to be in a pure state before you start your fast. And number 8, to bathe, to have shower every night of Ramadan after Maghrib. This is to give you strength to do ibadah, and to freshen up, to do ibadah at night, like Tarawih, reciting Quran, and Qiyamul Layl, to give you strength after Maghrib. Of course, Tarawih prayers in Ramadan, minimum of Tarawih is 2 rakaat and maximum 20. And some even do more than 20, because they, like in Hadramaut, they will repeat 20, they do 20, then they will go to another mosque, we start at a later time and do another 20. This is i'adah, repetition. Then some of them pray up to like 100, but of course it's repetition, because maximum of Tarawih is 20. And number 10 will be witr prayers. This is, of course, is sunnah in throughout the year, but in Ramadan and when you're fasting is highly recommended. 1 rakaat minimum and 11 rakaat maximum. But in Ramadan, it's sunnah to do it in Jama'ah. Imam will also read aloud the witr. Outside Ramadan, the mu'tamad is better for you to do your witr by yourself. But there are some opinions which say that it's still sunnah to do in Jama'ah, even for witr. And some of the Salaf do it once in a while. They will travel and they do, when they travel, they do Jama'ah witr. And it's sunnah also to do the kunut on the second half of Ramadan onwards. These are all special for Ramadan. In congregation, do the witr Jama'ah and do the kunut in second half of the Ramadan. That means the night of 16 onwards. Sunnah to do witr kunut in the last rakat of witr. The next will be recite the Quran and contemplate on the meanings. because it's narrated that Ramadan is Shahrul Quran. Ramadan is the month of the Quran. So of course, it's sunnah to read a lot of Quran and contemplate on the meanings during Ramadan and whenever you're fasting. It's also, it's emphasized to do sunnah prayers, rawatib, duha, tasbih, awabin. All these are sunnah throughout the year, but when you're fasting, especially Ramadan, is like extra emphasized because the rewards are plenty and will be multiplied. The next will be good deeds and actions in general. So anything that is considered good deeds will be applicable in Ramadan and also whenever you're fasting. Example, giving charity, keeping good relations, silaturahmi. This is especially very important, especially in Ramadan. And attending circles of knowledge, attending classes of whatever discussion on uh, knowledge of Islam, and also doing itikaf, especially in the last 10 nights of Ramadan. Itikaf in the mosque. Like Rasulullah SAW, he will be, the last 10 nights, he will always be in the mosque doing his itikaf. And the next one will be strive harder in the last 10 nights of Ramadan. This is in hope of Laylatul Qadr, especially in the odd nights. And next one will be strive to break the fast with halal food. This is to say that we try to avoid shubha, food that are mashbuh, we try to leave them. So only eat the best food that you know that is halal. That's the best thing to do when you're fasting, especially in Ramadan. Next is spending on the family. That means try to provide more for the family if he can afford, but of course not overspending. Next is avoid wasting time and ill speeches and cursings. If someone were to curse you when you're fasting, you just tell yourself, I am fasting. Inni sa'im. That's the sunnah. And you can say it aloud. If you can even say it aloud in Nisa'im. I mean, if there is no danger or fear of riya. If not, then just say to yourself in your heart to remind yourself that you are fasting and you don't want to waste time arguing and cursing others and all these ill speeches. And you don't want to waste time like sleeping too much and all this in in Ramadan. Okay, things that are disliked. These are the makruhat. Things that are makruh in when you're fasting. The first one will be gargling. Gargling on the throat. That means is like gargling, but you are gargling near your throat. So this is makruh because is because of the fear of swallowing the water. If you swallow, then even accidentally, then it will be you will break your fast because it's not recommended to gargle when you're fasting. Of course, the gargling when you do your wudu, that is it's not makruh. It's still sunnah. If you gargle the normal gargle in your mouth and you accidentally swallow some water, is forgiven. it won't nullify your fast. But if you gargle on the throat, then you accidentally swallowed some water, then that will be nullifying that will be an action that will nullify your wudu, because it's not recommended to. In fact, it's disliked. It's makruh to gargle on the throat during fasting. Second is tasting food without any need. There's no hajah. If there is, then it's not makruh. That means if like you are feeding like 1,000 people, or you are feeding your family for breakfast, then you need to test a bit, just tasting. Uh, just need to taste, but not swallowing. You need to taste whether it's okay enough, it's good enough. Then it's okay to taste. But if you taste the food, and accidentally swallow the food, then it will nullify your food. It will nullify your fast. It won't be forgiven, because this act is not recommended. It's actually makruh to do it during fasting. The third one will be hijama. Hijama is also makruh during fasting. The one who, because this the reason is because hijama, it will make the person weak, because the drawing of the blood from the body, so it will make him weak. So you don't want that during Ramadan. And it's also makruh for the one who has the hijama, and also for the one who do the hijama on someone. Both is disliked both is makruh. Both are makruh during Ramadan and during fasting. And fourth will be spitting water after breaking the fast. This is because it's like the scholars say that it's like you are wasting food, and you are getting rid of the barakah. So it's not it's disliked to spit water. I mean, you put water in your mouth and spit for no reason after breaking the fast. Number 5 will be showering, bathing by fully submerging oneself, even if it is for ghusl wajib. So if you want to shower, you can shower, but it's makruh to fully submerge oneself in like a pool or the sea, even if it's for ghusl wajib, because it's the fear of uh, water the water getting into your open what is this openings, through your mouth, through your nose, through your ears. That's why it's makruh to submerge yourself, fully submerge yourself. Number 6 is using the siwak after noon time, after Zohor. It's makruh to use the siwak, although siwak is one of the recommended sunnah. It's a highly recommended sunnah, using of siwak. But for Ramadan, you still can use siwak, but after Zohor is makruh. But then Imam Nawawi's opinion is that it's not makruh, even after Zohor. That means, according to Imam Nawawi, you can use siwak throughout the day, as long as you don't swallow uh, any parts of the siwak, or what if there is taste to it, you cannot swallow the taste from the using of the siwak. Number 7, to be oversatiated, too much sleep or wasting too much time, like eating too much or sleeping too much, or like just the whole day when you're fasting, you just watch TV or play game. These are all macro, because it's like you're wasting the day for the fasting, just to fast, but you are wasting the time. And the next one will be number 8, indulging excessively in things that are permissible. Is macro to indulge in things that are permissible excessively. If a bit is okay, like too much good food, too much TV, or too much what is that? Too much uh, perfume and all this. Even if it's after what is that? After the breaking of fast, because in Ramadan is should be like you um, you lessen these things, but it's still okay to use. It's not macro to use entirely, but it's like not too much. I mean, not excessively. Yeah. So that's it. We have covered the everything that is in this book for fasting. So next lesson, I think we can move on to zakah. Yeah, should yeah, yes, it's done. So next lesson we can move on to zakah. So wallahu alam. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ربنا انفعنا بما علمتنا ربي علمنا الذي ينفعنا ربي فقهنا وفقه أهلنا وقرابة لنا في ديننا مع أهل القدر أنت وذكرها ربي وفقنا وفقهم لما ترضي قولا وفعلا كرما وارزق الكل حلالا دائما وأخلا أتقياء علماء ونحظى بالخير ونقفى كل شر ربنا أصلح لنا كل الشؤون وأقر بالرضا منك العيون واقض عنا ربنا كل الديون قبل أن تأتينا الرسل المنون واغفر استر أنت أكرم من ستر وصلاة الله تغشى المصطفى من إلى الحق دعانا والوفاء بكتاب فيه للناس شفاء وعلى الآل الكرام الشرفاء وعلى الصحب مصابيه الغرار اللهم اهدنا بهداك واجعلنا ممن يسارع في رضاك ولا تولنا وليا سواك ولا تجعلنا ممن خالف أمرك وعصاك وحسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم الحمد لله رب العالمين والله أعلم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.